Good morning, everyone. We are on module 3 of chapter 15, Our Environment. Today we will learn about food chain. As you know, in living world, each living organism is dependent on other living organism for their survival. So a food chain is the flow of food energy from one organism to the next and to the next and so on. Basically, a food chain is 3 or 4 step. Food chain usually start with a producer, that are plant, and end with a carnivore. In a food chain, an organism gets food from one group of organism. For example, this is a food chain. At the first step, grass, that belongs to the category producer. Second one, deer, that are considered as primary consumer, and the third one, lion, that are considered as secondary consumer. So this is a food chain and it is of 3 steps. So you can see each living organism is dependent on other organism for their survival, or you can say for their nutrition. In the second diagram, grass, insects, frog and snake. It is a 4-step food chain, and you can see insects are dependent on grass, frog is dependent on insect, and snake is dependent on frog. So basically each living organism is dependent on other living organism for their survival, for their nutrition. You can see that if energy is passes from one step to the next step, it cannot be reversed back. So the flow of energy in food chain is unidirectional, and the type of energy present in food is chemical energy. This is another diagram. First is a terrestrial food chain: plant, herbivore, carnivore and top carnivore. Here a marine food chain is given to you: phytoplankton, then zooplankton, carnivore, secondary carnivore and tertiary carnivore. Each step in a food chain is called trophic level. Suppose grass is at first step, so grass is first trophic level. Then deer is at second step, then deer is at second trophic level. And lion is at third step, then lion is at third trophic level. So basically, dear student, each step in a food chain is called trophic level. So here are some sample food chains are given to you: producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, and then decomposers. Primary producers grass, primary consumer grasshopper, secondary consumer rat, tertiary consumer snake, quaternary consumer hawk. Pond biome. So primary producer algae, then primary consumer mosquito larva, then secondary consumer dragonfly larva, tertiary consumer fish, and quaternary consumer, that is raccoon. If I talk about ocean biome, then primary consumer phytoplankton, primary producers phytoplanktons, primary consumer zooplankton, secondary consumer fish, and tertiary consumer seal, quaternary consumer white shark. It's all. Thank you.